Well, let's bounce to Larry. Okay, we know that you were at the Battle of the Bands. Were you dancing and meet any cute girls that night?
Well, I probably saw a few cute girls, all right, but no, I wasn't doing any dancing there.
Well, I imagine any cute girls just totally evaporated the next morning. Where were you when the war started?
I was on my way to football practice, and I got up to the second deck, and they sounded general quarters. I looked out a porthole, and I could see they were bombing Fort Island. So I went to my battle station, which was down in the bowels of the ship, all the way down by the engine rooms. And of course, I went through that battle all with my football uniform on, and I was on the sound power phones, and of course we'd get word back down through the sound power phones of what all was going on. And
now, so you actually, I think you were the first Pearl Harbor survivor, I'd have to look at my old tape, that actually heard it through battle stations and not gunfire. Did your particular ship have great communications? I mean, how did they have time to do the battle stations?
Well, yeah, they had good communications, but they right away they sounded general quarters, and everyone goes to their battle station like we were trained, and then when you're on the sound power phones, why they're kind of relaying what's going on around the harbor.
And what was your duty station? You may have said that, but I missed it.
That's the main radio room. And, of course, one of the first messages that came through was, this is no drill. And then they sent out a message for all ships to get underway, which I think the Nevada, and there may have been 2 or 3 other ones, I don't know, because I wasn't topside to see what was going on.
So you spent how many hours in the radio room just doing your job?
I think it was about 11:30 when they finally sounded secure.
Now, did your ship take any hits or near misses?
Yeah, we took a bomb hit, and we also lost several people from strafing. And
did you know any of those folks?
Oh, yes, a couple of them were on the football team, and one of the radio men who was in what they called antenna repair. Of course, they weren't repairing antennas at that time. They had him carrying ammunition, and he got burned real bad, and then another radioman was killed. He was doing the same thing.
Now, tell us what you were thinking during all this time, because clearly, were you aware while you were there that some of the men on your ship had indeed been killed?
Well, not really aware until after I came topside.
But during that time, what was going through your mind? I mean, you knew it was war because you knew it first because you got the message, this is no drill. What was going through your mind?
Scared. And, of course, all you do is what you're trained to do, and that was about it.
Now, were your officers giving pretty good orders, or was everyone just like Bud here, knew what they do and they did it?
Everyone knows what they do. And in the radio room, you just copy messages, and the officers usually stayed in their little room there, and then we'd take the messages into them.
Now, first, let me ask you, how long were the Japanese hanging around creating absolute havoc?
I can't say for sure, but I know it was several hours. But when they sounded the all clear for us, why, that was, about 11:30 or something like that.
And is that when you went topside and saw all the carnage? Tell us what you saw, because people, this is an eyewitness account. I really appreciate you guys giving us an eyewitness account. Tell us what you saw, Larry.
It's pretty hard to say. See these guys that were, some of them there, with parts of their body blown off and everything, and it was just terrible.
I imagine it was. It's a terrible thing. What about you, Bud, when it was all over, can you discuss it?
Yeah. Well, it was really two stages of battle. The first one about 20 minutes, and then they came back about 9:15, I think it was, and they was there for another about 20 minutes. And, of course, there's a lot of things that went on in between. USS Ogallala, for example, was sinking, and they run all of us up there that could help pull on lines to pull the Ogallala back alongside the 1010 dock before it rolled over. And it's something you never forget.
Now, was your ship hit?
They dropped a bomb on us, but it didn't hit us. It was dead. There was two bombs that dropped. One right at the bow of the USS New Orleans, and it wounded a few guys. But I was sheltered behind the structure, so I didn't get hit, and nobody with me. But the other bomb was coming right down her throat, and it missed the ship and went into a motor launch and took the engine out of the motor launch, sunk it. And but I think one of the most devastating thing to me was there was 5 guys that came up to the dock, and we heard them yelling. There was one down there to help them up, get up on the dock, and they were badly burned. They had great big gray streaks on their chest and limp, and you grab a hold on the skin coming off in your hand, you slide right off. And we hollered for somebody to get a transportation and take them up to the hospital. The one, he says, "You ain't taking me to any hospital," and turned around and jumped back in. And he swam out to the USS Case that was just going by, and he got aboard it. And I never seen him after that. In fact, I never seen any of them before or after that. But
Well, that's kind of a mystery. I mean, obviously, you wonder what happened to those fellows.
well, a lot of that kind of thing went on. That you know, you kind of like to blank that stuff out of your mind. Like I was standing right near a guy that took a bullet right in the shoulder, and he was stunned. I was stunned. I couldn't get him to do anything, and in fact, he was an ensign, and he went up aboard the USS San Francisco.
Well, we're ready to wind it up here. What did you end up doing, real quickly? Did you make the Navy a career?
Well, no, I joined the reserves after I got out in '46. Got called back for Korea, so I stayed in the Navy Reserves, so I had 40 years in.
Oh, okay. And what about you, Bud?
Well, Pearl Harbor was just sort of the start. I was in 9 major engagements after that, and I was in Okinawa when the bomb was dropped, and the next day I was headed for home. I was the only single guy on the ship that had enough points to get out.
Well, listen, thank you both for serving our country. It was delightful to have you, and God bless you both, and God bless America. See you next time.